now. And then I'm going to go ahead and introduce Bob Baga, who is the CEO and founder of BizX, who's going to talk to us a little bit about making business to business connections.
Hi, this is Bob Baga. I'm with BizX, based here in Seattle. We've been um, working with local businesses for over 23 years, and small business uh, is our passion and how we make them more successful. Um, Today I was asked to talk about the World Cup and how local businesses can take advantage more on a B2B level and what that might look like on a specifically around hospitality, taking advantage of some of the hospitality um, and supplying to those. Um, can everybody hear me okay? Is that I'm seeing something come up in the chat here. So I'm gonna put together a little so somebody else is sharing. So um, I was going to share a PowerPoint of some. Oh, here we go. On some ideas on how to take full advantage of this. So here we go.
And Bob, if you could just speak a little louder, we're getting a little feedback that people are having a little bit of trouble hearing you.
Got it. Okay. Uh, can you hear me now? So the how local businesses can connect, collaborate, and just capture this opportunity. And the opportunity, for the World Cup is huge. And in looking at it, 750,000 visitors that are going to be coming here for six different matches. But the numbers are staggering, and I think it's just really important to be able to look at the actual size of the opportunity and ensuring that everybody understands really how big it is. And so we've got six matches that are going to be here. Each one of these are going to be as big as a Super Bowl could be for some cities. 750,000 fans on match days, $929 million coming in. It's going to create over 20,000 jobs. The numbers are just very big, and the idea is that there's six different matches, so it's not a one and done. And so thinking about it in that way and really understanding the size of the opportunity is very, very important. Um, you know, this again is very general in nature, not knowing exactly who the audience was, etc. So we can go deeper with questions. Um, and so I apologize in advance if we're a little general and vague, but each business is a little different, and really looking at this and how this would connect with hotel and hospitality specifically to take advantage. And so, um, from a playbook perspective, what are businesses going to be needing from suppliers? And I think it's important, obviously, to have these things, but also being able to clearly convey these items to the people that you want to be working with. So important, things like speed, fast fulfillment, responsiveness, lead times, consistency, um, you know, differentiation, what's going to be unique about what you can provide, reliability and follow through, value, and then, look at it from your customer's mindset. And I'm of the belief, and you'll hear this throughout, is that a good business, they don't sell, they solve problems. And so, if you can, looking at it from a supplier that can present themselves in a way that, they've thought things through, look at it from the customer's perspective. And these things are going to be obviously important these are words: speed, consistency, reliability. We hear them all the time. Um, but being able to actually show them, and they're not just words on a document. You've got systems, processes, and really looking at unique and clear ways of being able to solve these problems. Because with this many people coming through and this type of opportunity to take advantage of it, you've thought these things through. The playbook on getting on the radar, that's very important to be able to now, once you've got your message and product, being able to get in front of the right people. So the first one, obviously, is be discoverable. People are going to be looking for people like you, and I think we talk about it later. And the Google folks are here, so I mean, they're that's what they do really well. But from listings, SEO, online, and you're going to have people from all around the world also coming here, and businesses that are going to be setting up shop, and tour operators that'll be coming in and out that will be requiring local suppliers. So not only the local items, but inbound tour groups as well. And so, again, just um, uh, building direct contacts locally, targeting and meeting with these people that you would like to sell to, and again, finding out what's happening and having that discussion. Putting together pre-event, World Cup opportunities for them, where you could create a bundle and be able to deliver it to a property who could then just take it and very easily resell it. So again, you're helping solve their problem. If you talk to businesses, what are you doing for World Cup? I don't know. I haven't thought about it. Work with these people and build packages or build products that they think that their customers are going to want. Just coming back to demonstrating capacity and compliance, that's going to be so important throughout, and consistency. Leverage any partnerships you have. Joining local networks, and maintaining follow through. And walking the talk. Uh, uh, you know, Make sure your Google Business Store is great. Listing in local directories, being part of the Chamber of Commerce right here. Things like the Seattle Sports Commission, various keywords, etc. I won't. There's going to be various strategies that people way smarter than me that know how to deliver that. But again, what's your unique selling proposition, and things like speed or other areas that you think will solve? Again, going back to solving people's problems. So if you can figure out what their problems are and you can solve them, making sure that everybody knows that, hey, you can do this very well. Offer value in advance, and so again, being able to offer a sample or try something, and again, just ways that you can show that you've thought things through and you're being proactive and you're buttoned up in your marketing, your presentation, uh, etc. Just coming back to where we started with this. Um, you know, Building the direct relationships and following up, as we had discussed in the previous slides. Uh, but the big one is proactively just asking questions and learning, and what's going to also happen is that I have a suspicion that between match 1 and match 6 there's going to be a lot of learning. So if you've got resources, being able to kind of be there potentially to pick up the pieces, because there's going to be other suppliers that have were not able to deliver. So if you didn't win a certain piece of business, don't don't shy away. Stay in touch with people, because you could be there to help step in at any given time. You know, Partnering, I feel, is so important in a big way. And one of my favorite phrases is 1 plus 1 can equal 11. And really looking at who else can you partner with that you could go together to solve the same problem? And if you have the relationship and you've done uh, the rest of this work, you could leverage that relationship, the systems or processes that you've put in place specifically to handle these customers and be able to then add on additional goods and services. So, you could be a t-shirt supplier and you're supplying into hotels and you've done this work. There's no reason why, now you've got the relationship in place, you've got systems in place, you know what your customer wants. Well, now you could, sell coffee mugs, or there could be other goods and services, chocolates, other things, leveraging the relationship while you're right there. um, there's opportunities to capture more local fan spend as well. And I think just listening um, uh, as things go on throughout this. And again, this is what I said, make 1 + 1 = 11. And so referrals, sharing case studies, and coming through with wins as you've done them. What can you do from a repeatable perspective, and then can you build a referral flywheel to deliver more partnerships? So you're going to find you're I think the opportunity to be able to just learn, ask questions, solve problems, uh, I feel is the and partner are essential in what you're doing. So uh, and when we do that, Seattle wins when businesses collaborate. So thank you very much. Open it up for questions.
All right, yeah, we can open it up for questions. If you have a question, go ahead and type it in that question and answer box. And if not, we will wait for a minute here. And if not, we will move on. And any questions that you have that come up for Bob, we can put at the end of the next part of the presentation. Sorry, having a little technical difficulty with my camera. So thank you so much, Bob, for that. Appreciate it. And then we're going to now hand it over to our friends from the Google team. Aparajitha is their public policy manager for search and quality information, and she's going to go ahead and kick it off.
Thanks so much, Sharon. Let me just start sharing my screen. Just 1 second there. Great. Hi, all. Thank you so much for joining us today. We'll be walking through a little bit of our essentially tips to show up better on Google today. I will go through a little bit related to how you can appear better on search as you get World Cup ready and improve the way that your business appears on our services. So just really quickly, like Sharon said, my name is Aparajitha. I work on our public policy team, specifically focused on the issues related to search. And you'll also meet my colleagues, Elise and Brad, very soon. I'll allow them to introduce themselves as they go into their sections of the presentation. So like I said, today, I'll go through a brief introduction, help you understand just how search has been changing along with user needs. And Elise will cover more about the fundamentals of SEO, or search engine optimization. And then I'll hand over to Brad to discuss more about our merchant tools and how you can boost the way that your business appears on search. One quick thing before we get started, Google does have an honest results policy. That essentially means that even though you've met all of our wonderful selves today, and we've had a chance to speak with you as well at this webinar, we ensure that no results or anything that appears on search is somehow weighted or prejudiced in a way against any other ranking. We always make sure that feedback is received publicly, and we offer no preferential treatment to any of the folks that we work with. So with that, let's dive into the way that search has changed over the last 25 years. I know that's surprising to say, but Search has changed a lot in the 25 years, and so have people in the way that they actually search for information. You might have seen this mission statement many, many times. It's all about organizing the world's information and making it universally accessible and useful. And I want to say that at every stage of search's evolution, this has always looked a little bit different. That's why search looks different today than it did 25 years ago. So we've seen a lot of search behavior change over the last 25 years. Essentially, when we first started, people were doing a lot of keyword searching. They were using text. It was very simple. And then you see, of course, the rise of the mobile first revolution, and you see people starting to use voice, video, images, and of course, to meet those same demands, businesses like yourselves and content creators have also created content in what we call these different multi-modes, or essentially different modes of information. And now in the latest information revolution, we're seeing that people are getting content from social media. A lot of users want to have their needs satisfied, not just by hearing from an authoritative source or expert on the subject, but also understand what their peers are thinking and how they want to discuss the world around them. And so that means that you're seeing shorter attention spans and really just an interest in learning more from denser, shorter pieces of information. So how has Google been keeping up with all of this? Well, AI has always been a part of our mission here. At first, like I was saying, people were always searching with like short keywords, text, and AI has been able to empower the way that we understand what query or how people are searching on our services. In in time, as AI advanced, we were able to start understanding a little bit more context around what people needed, not just those little keywords, but what more could they be searching for. And more recently, we've improved our AI models in a way that we can actually understand across languages, across, as I said earlier, multimodalities. So essentially, if someone uploads an image, a video, whatever it might be to search, we're actually able to interpret that. And that's all done through the power of AI. So as you'll see, this is how search has evolved as well to meet every single one of these revolutions in the way that people consume information. So we saw search initially do all that text work. We moved into being able to process and understand images and voice and video. And now we've gotten all the way through to our next phase of the AI revolution with products like AI overviews and AI mode, which are allowing people to search any way, anywhere, and search anything at any time. AI enables new types of questions in search that creates an opportunity for content creators to really connect with their audience in a new way that they never were able to do so before. So what you're seeing now is, of course, our search platform, essentially that search results page that you're used to seeing with 10 blue links on the first page. You're seeing that it's better organized because we're understanding more from the queries that people are inputting. So we can see that people want more information with a specifically AI organized search. So that if you're searching for an event, you don't have all this information about events at the bottom of the page. It's showing a little bit further up on top of the page. You might have also encountered AI overviews, which are powered by large language models, which are essentially helping users get a really quick overview of what's going on the web, like for whatever their query is. And then it allows them to dive a little bit deeper. If you want to learn even more, if you want more context, you'll go to AI mode. It's an end-to-end search AI experience that'll let you dig a little bit deeper, including with follow-up questions or what we call in generative AI multi-turn queries. So maybe you're not just looking for the best vegetarian restaurant in Seattle, but you also want to find one that can manage allergies or is also providing gluten-free dishes. So you'll be able to input all of these queries, and AI mode actually remembers what your initial query was. So if you ask for the best vegetarian restaurant, and then you say, oh, but I also need to find gluten-free dishes, it'll start building one on top of the other to provide more information. And of course, you might be wondering, well, if users are getting all of this information on search, how are they coming to my site? They want to come to your site because we provide corroborating links. We want to make sure that users are able to search what they need and quickly move out to the rest of the web and learn more from you, all of the experts on the topics that they're interested in. So AI mode and AI overviews will always show these corroborating links to help users discover more pages and more of the web than they ever had before by just looking at 10 blue links. So with that, I'm going to pass over to my colleague, Elise, so that she can introduce herself and walk you through SEO fundamentals.
Hello, everyone. First off, I know there was volume control. I will do my best to project, but if there's any issues, don't hesitate to use that Q&A topic, and I'll do my best to even project further. Thank you, Aparajita. And I just want to say it's just a pleasure to be a part of this discussion today. I'm a member of the Global Partnerships team here at Google, and I specifically work on travel and local related search results. So very relevant to the influx of folks coming to Seattle for the World Cup. I'm excited for you all, and I'm a pleasure to be here. Okay, so you just heard all about the innovation in search. What does this mean for you? We're going to get a little bit nerdy together as we go through these SEO fundamentals, but I promise all is going to be okay. Simply put, there are 3 steps that you need to take to make your content eligible for inclusion in AI-powered search results, including AI overviews and AI mode that Aparajita just presented. Content creators and owners can follow these 3 simple steps. 1, ensure that the search engines are able to index your site's content. 2, add structured data markup to your site. And 3, ensure that structured data markup is recognized by search engines. So we'll go through each of those a little bit more. Next slide, please. So what's involved in step 1? All right, ensuring that search engines are able to index your site. That means that there's 4 subcomponents. The first is, honestly, in my opinion, the most important, but everything is relevant, so don't snooze on the others either. Search Console. Use Search Console to monitor, maintain, and troubleshoot your site's presence. What is Search Console? It is a platform that provides data and tools to help site owners improve their websites and optimize their appearance on Google. It can help you answer questions like, is there anything wrong with my site? How do I fix my errors and tell Google to validate them? How can I optimize my site's performance? Exceptionally helpful tool. This video on the right will make sure that you have access to all of these resources. This is a very helpful series that can help inform how you can proceed and use Search Console. Second, make sure that Googlebot is not blocked. What is Googlebot? Googlebot is our crawler, so it permits us to detect what content is on your site. Allowing it to crawl your site ensures that your page can show up in Google search results. Third, build and submit a sitemap. A sitemap is a file where you provide information about the pages, videos, and other files on your site and the relationships between them. It's particularly helpful for large sites so that Google can better understand the site's architecture and the relationship between those pages. And lastly, related to that second point, allow Gemini training and grounding. Basically, just make sure that these capabilities are not blocked through the Google Extended User Agent Token or through a wildcard user agent entry in robots.txt. Next slide, please. Second step, add structured data to your site. So what is structured data? It is a standardized format for providing information about a page and classifying the page content. There's different types of markup based off of the different types of content on your website. So you can see here examples in recipes and events. There's many others though. You might be asking, what kind of structured data should I apply to my site? Guidance here is to focus on structured data to help answer questions about Seattle, especially given those visitors and locals that will be interested in the type of content that you're creating. Because this webinar is in anticipation of the World Cup, we're going to focus on the events markup as we think that those are going to be, as we apply these SEO foundations in the coming slides. Next slide, please. And lastly, step 3 of the fundamentals, ensure that the structured data markup is recognized by search engines. And you can use this tool called Rich Results Test. It's an externally friendly and free tool where you put in a URL and you can find out if your content is eligible for rich results. Okay, so now that we learned our fundamentals, our 3 steps, let's apply them. We're going to focus on how SEO applies to local events and experiences. I always think it's helpful to start at the end, the reward, and then work backwards. So in the spirit of World Cup, here's an example query for sports events in Seattle, showcasing upcoming matches in Seattle on AI mode. So that was the 3rd example of the mocks that you saw earlier on. This is a result where your events could be eligible for inclusion if you apply event structured markup. So say I'm a hockey fan, and I want to know more about the upcoming Seattle Kraken match versus Winnipeg. Those helpful links on the right will guide me to learn more, and if possible, maybe buy tickets. Next slide, please. Here's a similar example for AI organized search results on desktop. You can see the events carousel on the left. It includes an events detail homepage on the right that pops up when I click the event that I'm interested in. The hero image is clickable and redirects to the source of the photo, which could be your site. And the list of event content providers for tickets and more information could also show up if you apply your event structured data markup correctly. Next slide, please. And while the World Cup is coming to Seattle next year, not all of your site's events are going to be sports related. Many will be a diverse array of local interests like food and drink events or community events, parades, holiday markets, street fairs. You get the idea. In fact, in the spirit of the holidays, here's one more search event example, this time on mobile phone versus desktop, for community theater musical from Shipshewana, Indiana. In this case, if I type in events in Shipshewana, Indiana, and search on my phone, Visit Shipshewana's related content shows up. Now, in this example, imagine that your site is like visitshipshewana.org. Starting from my query about events, the Christmas candy caper shows up as one possible event to check out. You have to check it out, by the way. It looks like a Hallmark ready film. Like if you want to get into the spirit, check it out. It looks like a hoot. Anyway, when I click on the event tile, I open up an event detail immersive homepage that shows some critical dates, but also highlights Visit Shipshewana as a site I can go to for more information. And don't forget that attribution and link out for the hero image as well. Then I'm redirected to Visit Shipshewana's specific event leaf page for the specific instance of the event, even though it's just one performance in the series of the events. Next slide, please. So now that we know what kind of content will make the cut into which experiences, let's apply how to technically mark it up and which data types are required and highly recommended. First, you need to add those properties for event schema. Those are listed on the right. So what really makes up an event? It's an event name, the start date and time, the location, and image and description are paramount. For the best results, you'll want to be marking up the events that are particularly authentic and local, not just those tourist attractions. They should be timely, time-bound, start and end at a specific time, fresh and really unique. What makes Seattle special? Next, after you've added the markup, you need to validate that your code is error-free. I'll show you how to use the free externally available rich results test so you can see what to look for. And third, inspect your URL in the Google Search Console, that first example we talked about, to check if we can access and render your page correctly. Then publish your page and monitor the results performance using events reports in the Search Console tool. Next slide, please. So if you go to yeah, perfect. So if you want to see what our guidance is around events structured data or schema markup, this is what the page and URL they should take a look at. It's an example of what all the different sections, and it's organized on the right rail. You can see all the gray sections of how it's organized. We're going to focus on the content, technical guidance, and date and time guidelines, since those are often the places that we get the most questions about, and often a lot of confusion partners. Let's summarize those in one fell swoop. Oh, you have to click twice for the next slide. I'm so sorry. Thank you very much. Very good. Okay, first, you need to make sure that event's markup is present for all events, prioritizing those that should be accessible for the general public, meaning a person that searches on Google could actually go to them, whether or not they require a ticket in advance. If they're exclusive or require a membership or a special invite to get access, those aren't really well suited for inclusion in our Google search events, products, and carousels. If there are multiple events that take place, like multiple performances in that musical example, each needs to have its own leaf page. Folks often think that they should implement markup on the discovery page or your calendar page that lists all of their events, but that's actually not the way that we need it. We need each individual event to have its own leaf page and have that URL marked up. And actually, something important to note, at Google, we define events as real-world experiences for our products. So virtual events are actually not events by our definition. So make sure that you include a specific physical location with an address or a specific point of interest to be eligible to show up in our events experiences. Description needs to be full, complete, and accurate, ideally without any ellipses. The image needs to be high quality and accurately manages the expectation of a person discovering your event so that they can appropriately get a sense of the vibe of that experience and then make an informed decision. And lastly, make sure your start date time is set correctly. This is one of the biggest pitfalls, as folks often mark up this portion incorrectly. For example, if you have a full day event, folks often think, let me start it at midnight, just because it's a full day. But that's not actually when people would be showing up. You don't want people to actually show up for a full day event at midnight, right? So be sure to take your time, no pun intended, on the date and time guidelines page when you review the event structured data markup. Next slide, please. So we're going to go back to that Shipshawana Christmas musical example. While visiting Shipshawana has made many ways of discovering pages with multiple events listed on their website. You can see a couple examples here. They've invested in the concept of an event series discovery page and separately created leaf pages for each individual instance of that event, having implemented the event structured markup on each of those pages. This is, next slide, please. So each of those that I'm highlighting, each of those have their own dedicated page. This is the next slide. Yeah, exactly. This is what an individual event leaf page looks like. You can see it starts on the 6th and then it goes to the 7th. Those are two separate URLs and therefore two separate instances of that event. Next slide. So I told you about the rich results test. This is what it looks like. That's the URL to get it. You basically put that URL right into the search bar, and when you click on it, you can see that the site has been crawled successfully and the events markup is present. So those are the two major designations. If you click on that events markup present section, you can see, next slide, that there is, you can see if you have any issues. There were actually 3 non-critical ones, which you didn't see on there, but that was optional data like organizer, performer, and offers. But those are less critical for the search experience. So like I said, it's not necessarily paramount to have those implemented. You can see, however, that there's a description included. Going forward, ideally, if they didn't have ellipse there, that would be ideal, but that's okay. The image is also present, high quality, representative of that experience. And you can see that it's an offline. So it's actually happening at a place in the real world with start and end time that's set and a location at the venue. Just a quick call out on location. Street fairs and other places and events that are going to be taking place in Seattle likely next year, they can take place on a whole street or at an intersection. If that's the case for your event, you're going to want to pick a specific location, like wherever it begins or the middle point. It needs to have an actual address. Otherwise, it's too difficult for us to match when we get to the actual event creation. All right, next slide. So the last steps are including using Search Console to inspect your URL, publish it, and monitor those results. This is that QRL for the training video if you want to go deeper on your website's specific rich results and enhancement reporting. Next slide, please. So there are more resources at our SEO starter guide and website best practices, which we have links to here. Basically use those heading tags, improve site navigation, include a date in press releases, avoid putting textual information inside images or videos, ensure question and answer pairs are on the same page, and follow security best practices. These cover a lot of different topics that are not just the events portion, but in other types of structured data as well. If you need any help, there's Search Console Insights, help in any public channels, and Search Console has SEO office hours. All of these are tools that are available to all site owners. It's been my pleasure to talk to you about SEO fundamentals. Now I'll hand it over to Brad to provide a high-level overview of some of the Google tools available specifically for merchants.
Thanks, Elise. Hi, everybody. Thank you very much for having myself and all of us from Google here. So quick intro for myself. I'm also on our partnerships team, and I specifically focus on helping SMBs show up and succeed across leveraging all of Google's tools that we have to offer. So I'm going to dive into this for a second. So if we go to the next slide. In addition to your SEO strategy and the tools Elise took us through, Google has a lot of tools that can help throughout your business's life cycle or be more productive throughout your day. And this goes from, on the left-hand side, from digitizing and reaching customers online through a lot of what we've opened up with, to different AI-powered tools that help your productivity, different things with researching, problems you're facing, and then different marketing assistance that you can leverage throughout your day. But today we're going to focus towards the left side, and there's two tools in particular. One is the free Merchant Center platform, and I think a lot of you also know is the free Google Business Profile platform. Um, and these are really important because in addition to SEO and your own websites, they help you show up specifically across Google with really rich information. And they have some specific features on how to post really engaging content and updates to reach your customers. So let's dive in. Let's go to the next slide. And quickly, I'm going to focus for retailers really briefly. Merchant Center is the platform that you use to upload, if you're a retailer, your product feeds and the inventory and the items that you sell. And so you can also share all of your content, your shipping settings and speed, and everything like that. And what you do through Merchant Center can power how you show up on Google search, on YouTube, on ads, on lots of different experiences. So to get your inventory online and showing up on some of the AI search experiences that we've taken you through, this is the tool that you want to start with. It's also a really great tool and platform to get rich insights and business performance and recommendations that will help you know what actions to take and what areas you could improve for your business to show up better or to improve your business results. And we actually have AI tools within Merchant Center that will provide personalized recommendations for you on things like improving an image that's not optimized to show up, or things you should change in your product feeds, or even suggestions on how you could change your pricing strategy to make more profits. And they're infused throughout. So that is our Merchant Center platform for retail. And if you're selling inventory specifically, let's go to the next slide. Yeah, thank you. For everybody, in addition to Merchant Center for the retail side, Google Business Profile, that's our free tool that allows businesses to manage their online presence more broadly across a lot of these search experiences and maps. And so it really helps your customers it really helps you by highlighting more of your essential business information, such as your address, your hours, location, your website. You can also do things like upload photos and your social links that I'm going to share how to do that in a few slides. And so, quick note here before I get into the basics. We get this question a lot. It's for both brick and mortar storefront businesses where customers can come to your location and interact with you, as well as service area businesses. So an example would be like a plumber or a locksmith or an insurance agency, where you have a designated service area of your client, and you work within those boundaries. So it's for both types of physical and service businesses. Once you're starting to integrate with Google Business Profile, and you're set up and you're verified, that's when the real fun begins to share more rich business information. And so on this slide, information that's really important to make sure that you're sharing through the profile that I wanted to point out. If we go back 2 slides, operating hours are a huge deal. These are the basics. The worst thing is someone showing up to a business and just to find out it's closed. So keep those operating hours up to date. If you're a restaurant, make sure you include those delivery hours as well. Holiday sessions are really important too, to make sure you're highlighted, or any special hours. And so we can go to the next slide to look at some more rich details that we want to make sure you're highlighting. Perfect. These are some examples of how your business info can show up and display to your customers. And you can see them kind of called out on this slide with those boxes. This is a restaurant specific example, and it goes beyond the basics. A little bit of what Elise was bringing us through about events and how you can share event information, and specifically for restaurants, what's happening. So these are things like, you can see that there's a happy hour, or you can share your, any specials for your menu or things like that. Let's go to the next slide.
Brad, one quick, just because Alex Fong had put a Q&A in, it's related to that prior point. I just wanted to call out, Alex, I'm not sure if you're a business owner that is in a restaurant space. That feature that Brad is just showing is relevant to restaurants only right now, but there's
That's
hope.
right.
And so I know Brad's going to cover it, but I just want to call out like the event. I would, if you're an individual business owner, highly recommend you use this feature. If you're a restaurant today, it's going to extend to other verticals in the future. But right now, that would be the best place to do it because it's such prime real estate specifically on your business profile. But if you also have your events hosted on your website, I do hope, I think you actually in this case want to do both because search results for discovery and that categorical kind of searches will be relevant for upper funnel. And this is once a user has already decided to come to your place, they're looking at your business profile, then they also see that your event is taking place there as well. So just want to say this is one time where I would do both, but didn't mean to interrupt you, Brad, in your flow.
No,
I
it's
just
perfect.
the
With the
question.
Zoom, it's I didn't see the question, so I really
Of course.
appreciate your help, Elise. And we're going to get into it's actually a trifecta. I think it's your website and SEO, GBP, and then specifically within GBP, any social channels that you have as well. That I'm going to get into in a second. It's a good to do all three and how we can show. We'll be able to share those signals across a lot of different areas that can reach your customers. So if we go to the next slide briefly. Thank you. I know this builds a little slowly, but you can really give your business a great voice and engage and captivate your customers with fresh content. And I think this is really important because the fresher your content is, that can help your customers drive the decisions that they're looking to answer and make in the moment. And so my advice is to really take advantage of these features to showcase as timely of updates or special offers you have, anything that's happening right now with your business front and center on your Google business profile. And so we have three specific areas and some examples I'll share. One is updates. So things are like any news happening with your business, or if you're a restaurant, any new menus or something like that. We also have the ability to show offers. So these are things like limited time deals, happy hours like we showed, specials, and then events. This is huge, especially for this webinar and right now upcoming live events, seasonal events. It could be things like music or things like that too. And so within these posts, you have the ability to share descriptions, photos, videos, ability to take action, and when they start, when they end, to really help your customers show up and come engage with you. So let's go to the next slide and start looking about how we actually share this information, how we post this. There's a few different ways, and this gets to the question that was asked too. How do you share this post? We have two main ways. One is structurally through the Google Business Profile tool, and that's more direct. And then you can also, the second way that's really important is to share any social media links and accounts that you have, and we can automatically populate through there in a few different ways. So if we go to the next slide, first take us through that first option one, where we're going directly into Google Business Profile and sharing it, your post directly. There's a few tips we have here. I'd say it's really important to include keywords in any of your posts. So things like Mother's Day or happy hour. Try to always include visual assets with pictures and descriptions and date updates. And then keep it engaging and fresh. So if you can, post routinely, at least once a week is our guidance. This really can help keep your info fresh, and it's a best practice. And then make sure you're using all three. Don't just limit yourself to only sharing your events. If you have business updates or special offers, use all the tools available to you to show this. So we go to the next slide. I know this one has a build to one more. Awesome, thank you. The other great way to post current content is just to connect your business's social media page to Google with the Google Business Profile so that it can show up and be more discoverable throughout a lot of the search experiences that we've taken you through. So we've added recently we've added the support for a lot of different popular platforms that make it easier for your customers to find things that maybe you don't have time to post directly onto Google, but they're posted on your social site, and so they can now show up here. Let's go to the next slide and we can share a few more specifics. So when you're adding your social media links and you're linking this to your Google business profile, I think this is really the number one thing that you can do to improve your discoverability. And in general, I would say we really want to encourage you um, here. We say don't set and forget your business profile, but here this can be a one-time thing where you set and you link your social media profile, and then everything that you do within your social media can show up and flow automatically, which is really nice. And so we've added the ability to add these links. And then we're more and more, once you link your profile, we have more areas across our experiences that we're displaying this content. So I'm going to take us through a few examples briefly on the next slide of how this content can show up. So these are some examples of how once you link your profile and your content, how they can show up to customers on Google. So for your links on the left-hand side, this is available on mobile search, on desktop search. It's global. It's for all verticals. So travel, restaurants, all different business types and verticals. And then it supports many different social media platforms. So I would say focus on your Facebook, your Instagram, Twitter, things like YouTube, Pinterest, TikTok, all of them. And this can display up to 5 at a time. And then the example on the right-hand side shows the content of how your updates within social can show up. So that's on the right-hand side towards the lower end of the mobile experience. I think we can move on to the next slide. So I know we've gone through quite a bit today, from how our search experience and AI is evolving to showing up on search with SEO and different tools that are super important for that. And then our more structured tools for Merchant Center and Google Business Profile to specifically share events through your social media platform. So we're starting to come to an end today. There was a lot. And so we wanted to share some helpful links here if you want to learn more. And a lot of these links explain a little bit more about the product, where the data can show up, and provide some good step-by-step guidance on how to actually go through and share your data to make sure it shows up and is optimized. And so we also have a great guidebook to use for SEO that gives a nice overview. So scan this QR code. You can download that guidebook for our SEO and gives an overview of our AI-powered experiences. And then if we go to the next slide, we love our QR codes. Feedback is always a gift for us. And so if you have a moment, we really would love to hear your feedback on how this content is resonating with you, if it's helpful. And then also within this code, if you want to share your info with us, we have a newsletter with tips and tricks that we send out. And it's a series that we send out. So if you'd like to sign up for that in the form that's behind this QR code, please do share it with us and we can make sure we get that info to you. And so with that, I just say thank you very much for having us, and I'll turn it back over.
Thank you so much. Let's Thank you so much to our teams from Google and BizX for joining us today. Hopefully, you all took away some great information from that. So just as a reminder, this is recorded and we will post it on social media and in an email that I will send out shortly after this. And then if you click this QR code, because everybody loves QR codes, you can get registered for our next World Cup Ready series, which is your statewide FIFA watch party guide, which will be pretty exciting. And that is happening next Thursday from 11 a.m. to noon. So thanks again, everybody, for joining us. Thank you again to our amazing panelists. We hope to see you at the next webinar, and we hope that you have a fantastic day.